All right, good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm talking about the passion for God. It's kind of like, with passion, what excites you? And what motivates me? What fires me up? What fires you guys up? I was thinking, when the chips are down, when you're facing a wall, what flicks your switch? So all of us have got something that flicks our switch. Is there a cause that lifts you to another plane? That would be passion. In a noisy crowd, is your ear tuned to certain words? I do photography for a hobby, and if I'm in a crowd, if I hear the word aperture, shutter setting, Canon or Nikon, all of a sudden I want to be in on that conversation. And that's kind of a little bit of my passion. But passion makes me want to live. That's what passion does. Passion lifts you from the realm of mediocrity into the realm of something extraordinary. That's passion. Passion makes me feel bulletproof. Whether I'm bulletproof or not, but it makes me feel bulletproof. Passion is what you think about when you can't go to sleep at night. I remember I was watching TV1, and there was this reporter, and he was talking about this movie he'd seen on the net, and this guy was going on about it. And it was about some gung-ho guys from Auckland, of all places, chasing treasure in the Auckland Islands. In 1886, the General Grant. Oh, yeah, that's up there. Let's just work out a code. The General Grant had sunk in the summer Antarctic Auckland Islands with 2,576 ounces of gold. And there's been numerous expeditions to try and find it. But what intrigued me is he caught the passion of these guys who made the movie. And that passion infected me. And so passion is contagious. The thing is, I wanted to watch this movie, and the other thing was, it was really about a dumb subject. It really was. But the reporter's passion for these guys, it was about two killer divers and a one-legged tractor driver. But because of his passion, that pursuit became believable. I thought, wow, this is just this passion. Passionate people give credibility to their cause. Even if they're wrong, they're believable. And I actually looked up the video on YouTube. It was actually stink. It wasn't that good, but the guy's passion got to me. In Acts 2, you find Peter spoke to a huge crowd, and 3,000 of them believed him. It was more than his words. It was his words conveyed with a passion that caught the people. And passion made Peter convincing. You see, we need a passion. I'm going to share a bit of my passion with you this morning. Passion makes you something that's worth dying for. You believe you can die for it. Whether you're right or not, you say, I'd die for this. So here's my passion. I'm talking about the passion for God. What is it about God that fires me up? So I've just got a reference here, Luke 9:28-36, out of the New Living Translation. About 8 days later, Jesus took Peter, John and James up on a mountain to pray. And as he was praying, the appearance of his face was transformed, and his clothes became dazzling white. Suddenly 2 men, Moses and Elijah, appeared and began talking with Jesus. They were glorious to see, and they were speaking about his exodus from this world, which is about to be fulfilled in Jerusalem. Peter and the others had fallen asleep, and when they woke up, they saw Jesus' glory, and the 2 men standing with them. As Moses and Elijah were starting to leave, Peter, not even knowing what he was saying, blurted out, "Master, it's wonderful for us to be here. Let's make 3 shelters, memorials, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." So what fires me up? Well, this is what you call a mountaintop experience. It was the right people, mixing it with the 3 all-time heavyweights in the Bible. Jesus was there too. And that must be right. Imagine getting together with Bill Hybels, Rick Warren, and Nicky Gumbel, the three heavyweights of modern Christianity. It's got to be right. Does that fire you up? And then it goes on, Revelation, visions of God unmasked, seeing Jesus in dazzling white clothes. Does that fire you up? Or knowledge, sacred knowledge, divine knowledge. They were speaking about his exodus from this world, which is about to be fulfilled in Jerusalem. Secret knowledge privy to heaven and a select group of people on earth. And they didn't tell anybody else after they went down from the mountain. That's secret knowledge. Does that fire you up? And then vision and capability. Master, it's wonderful for us to be here. Let's make 3 shelters as memorials. One for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah. Jesus, I can see this would work. Let's get into a building project. For me, a 2.7 million building project, a gym with a sprung floor, an auditorium capable of seating 400 with a state-of-the-art sound system and a decent office. And it's all paid for. Wouldn't that fire you up? But at prestigious company, Revelation, hearing from God, success in ministry, surely that's enough to light any Christian's fire. But what happened next? It goes on. But even as he was saying this, a cloud overshadowed them, and terror gripped them as the cloud covered them. Then a voice from the cloud said, "This is my son, my chosen one. Listen to him." Besides Moses and Elijah and Jesus, God the Father showed up, and you could say the Holy Spirit showed up in that cloud. And as God spoke, he said, "My son, my chosen one." Of all the things, the right people, revelation, knowledge, capability, Jesus is priority one. When I say Jesus lights my fire, I know that I'm not far from the right thing. My passion is to discover Jesus. It's been there since the day I met him, but it's got stronger and stronger. I want to know Jesus now more than I ever known him. Yes. I've found the more I know him, the more I understand him, the more acquainted I am with him, I realise how much I don't understand him and how much I don't know him. And I want to know Jesus. Yes. When Peter said he denied Jesus, he said, "I don't know him." There's an element of truth in that. I want to know Jesus. That's my passion. It's ironic that as they entered this dark place, a place of terror for the disciples, a place where everything else was forgotten, it's ironic that at the end of it, when everything else had gone, it finishes with verse 36. It says, Jesus was there alone. At the end of it, Jesus will be there. I think my desire is close to what is right, the right passion. Paul writes in Philippians 3 verse 10, he says, "I want to know Christ and experience the mighty power that raised him from the dead. I want to suffer with him, sharing in his death." What is it about God that fires me up? And this is, I'm probably needling in here, but for me, one of the things that fires me up about Jesus is Jesus the man, the glorified man. One title Jesus uses of himself that trumps all others is the title, does anyone have a guess? Son of Man. Thanks. I wasn't sure I put up there or not. But son of anthropos, it actually means son of humanity. Jesus became the man when he took off his robes of deity and put on the garb of a slave and began to wash the disciples' feet. That's John 13, and you find the same thing happens in Philippians 2, 6 to 11. Jesus never stopped being God as much as I cannot stop being human. You can put me in a dog's garb and put a nose on me and a tail on my backside, but I'll always be human. Jesus will never stop being God, but he became a man. When he was questioned by the high priest in Mark 14:61, the high priest said, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One?" And Jesus answered, he said, "I am. And you will see the Son of Man seated in the place of power at God's right hand and coming in the clouds of heaven." When he said, "I am," it's ego eimi in Greek. It's the New Testament equivalent to Yahweh. He said, I'm God. But he said, but it is a man you'll see. You still see the Son of Man. It's a man you'll see. Jesus never put off his humanity. Today in the 21st century, a man sits in the highest place in the universe, at the right hand of God. A man entered a place never before occupied by such a creature. You know, if you go to Revelation, you find there in Revelation 5, verse 9, it says, they sung a new song. Something new happens in heaven. And he does something that only a man can do. And the song continues, you are worthy to take the scroll and break its seals and open it. For you were slaughtered, and your blood has ransomed people for God from every tribe, language, and nation. It's small wonder that heaven goes into overdrive. This has never happened before. A man is in heaven. A man is at the right hand of God. I relate to that man. That man knows me. You see, that's the man Jesus. And then it says, then I heard every creature... I've lost myself. I guess every creature in heaven and on earth and under the earth and in the sea, and they sung, blessing and honour and glory and power belong to the one sitting on the throne, to the Lamb forever and ever. You see, heaven never had this happen before. A man is in heaven. A man occupies the highest place in creation. That's the Jesus I know. That's the Jesus I want to know. I'll just finish with this. It wasn't just one man, it was all humanity. Nowhere do we find Jesus taking off his humanity. The opposite happens. He includes me in his new humanity. You know, in John 17:21, he says, I pray that they will be one, just as you and I are one. As you are in me, Father, and I am in you. May they be in us, that the world will believe you sent me. Then in John 15:5, I am the vine, you are the branches. In Acts 9 verse 4, he says, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? He became indistinguishable from us, from the church. It's called perichoresis. It's the dance of God. You know, that's something that grips me. In Waitara, from the beginning, we've had an axiom in the church. It's Jesus with skin on. Where Jesus with skin on. When I first preached on that, I actually misspelled skin, and it was sin. And I said, I didn't know it was on the screen. It was Jesus with sin on. But it's true. That when Jesus was sin on, when Jesus, corporately together, we're corporately Jesus not good. That's the man I want to know. When Jesus said in Luke 4 verse 8, he said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim that captives will be released, that the blind will see, that the oppressed will be set free. He was talking about me and you. That's us. And he says, the time of the Lord's favour has come. We live in the day of the Lord's favour. We live in the year of Jubilee. That's us. No, he's not going to use angels. He's going to use you guys. And you are Jesus to the people out there. That's the Jesus I want to know. That's the passion of God. It still holds true. What Jesus was before his resurrection is what we are now. What Jesus became is what we shall be. Jesus' mission is completed through you. In John 20:21, he says, the Father has sent me, I am sending you. You see, not angels, it's you. John 17:3, he said, this is the way to have eternal life, to know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, the one you sent. You see, Jesus lights my fire. I can know him, and in knowing him, I know the Father. It's not tritheism. It's in knowing Jesus, you know the Father. I can know God, and he knows me. I can understand what Paul writes. He said, this is to finish, he says in Ephesians 3 verse 8, he says, may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, how deep his love is. May you experience the love of Christ, though it is too great to understand fully. Then you'll be made complete with all the fullness of life and power that comes from God. That's the Jesus I want to know. It's all-consuming. That's what I think about. Yeah, that's why nothing's too hard. That's why Jesus trivialises everything else. It trivialises my photography. Yeah, in fact, I actually find God through creation because I see Jesus here. I want to know Him. That's what I want to leave you with this morning.